Education continues to promote investment in education by upgrading the country's educational infrastructure nationwide. Just recently, $128 million was expended towards improving school environments in Regions 5 and 6.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Hundreds of students along Guyana's coast are now equipped with improved learning environments. The Education Ministry has built 2 new nursery schools in Perth and Calcutta and 2 new primary schools, the Champagne Primary School and Number 36 Primary School, and has furnished a new information technology classroom at Cortland Primary School. These upgraded schools now have an improved delivery of education for the students. Perth and Calcutta nurseries, along with Champagne Primary, are in Mahika Berbice Region 5, while Cortland Primary and Number 6 Primary are in East Berbice Quarantine Region 6. Headmistress of Calcutta Nursery School, Candace Griffith, was elated to finally have a building conducive for learning and teaching.
Today is indeed a happy day for the community of Calcutta. I must say how overwhelmed we are to be a part of this occasion.
She also shared her experiences of being cramped in a small, uncomfortable space.
Function in the bottom flat of Calcutta Primary School in a single room, where 4 classes had to be facilitated, was one of the most discomforting experiences for us all.
According to Griffith and other members of staff, it was under the stewardship of Acting Regional Education Officer Dion Lewis Clark that the demand for Calcutta Nursery School to be housed in its own building was realized.
Today we are grateful to receive this nursery school, since we can now deliver the curriculum in an environment that is more conducive.
Deputy Regional Executive Officer Sherwin Wellington spoke of the importance of education and investing in youth.
The government of Guyana and the regional administration believes in quality education in our region, and as such, they are investing in education. And you could see from our regional budget, education acquire the largest budget allocation in our region since 2016 going onwards. The education over the years, they have been increasing dramatically in order to provide that good working environment for our teachers and our parents.
Prior to the construction of the Calcutta Nursery, the school was housed on the ground flat of the Calcutta Primary School. As the population and enrollment grew, so did the need for the school to be housed in its own facility, for teachers to be better accommodated, and adequate space for the learners. Construction on the $33 million school, which houses 120 students, commenced on August 6, 2018, and was completed on November 6, 2018. The new building now caters for a head teacher's office, a storeroom, a kitchen, a staff room, a restroom, a sick bay, and even caters for students with special needs. Provision has been made in the region's 2020 budget for a steel fence and outdoor equipment to enhance the school environment even further. Education Minister Dr. Nicolette Henry explained that the construction of the schools falls in line with the government's vision of providing quality, equitable education to all regardless of where they live.
Education should happen in an environment that is appropriate and conducive for learning. And so, a very important pillar in the delivery of education is having appropriate classroom and learning environment.
She cited the physical upgrades that the school has benefited from.
It certainly is an upgrade from what you previously operated in. It's by no means it's the best facility in the world, but it is an appropriate facility for learning to take place. And I'm certain that within the walls of this building, a lot of learning will take place and great things will happen. We will change lives and we will transform minds.
The minister also said that while there is room for improvement within the sector, tremendous work has been done to improve the quality of education being delivered to the nation's children. The education sector is the most heavily funded and benefits from the largest national budgetary allocation.
We believe that through education, we can contribute in large ways to the development of our people. In fact, it is the mandate of the education sector. And so we take that very seriously.
Minister Henry has pointed out that education can propel a nation and its people from poverty to prosperity. Education, she said, creates opportunities and directly aids a nation's development. For this reason, this administration has decided to make tremendous investments in Guyana's future. The cost to construct the Perth Nursery School was $40 million and the Champagne Primary totaled $13 million. At the ceremony in East Berbice, Quarantine to commission the number 36 primary school, Minister Henry noted that any investment in people is an investment in the country. The construction of the number 36 school was made possible through a collaboration between the government and the private sector. The land on which the two-story school sits was donated by the Nan Prasad group of companies. This project began in October 2016 and was completed in March 2018 at a grand total of $42.6 million. The IT lab that was recently commissioned at the Cortland Gibraltar Primary School was also the product of collaborative efforts. The computers were donated by a former student of the school and resident of the community, Merlin Crandon. Delivering remarks on behalf of Ms. Crandon was Reverend Ingrid Peters, who said that the new IT lab marks the beginning of a journey for the children. Head teacher of the school, Melanie Thomas, said that the IT lab will enable students to reach their full potential. Minister Henry reminded that education is a priority area for government.
In order for it to have its maximum impact, the learning environment needs to be conducive. And so the building this morning that we're commissioning is in keeping with the standards of nursery schools here in Guyana.
The ministry has also been investing in secondary education, as 2 new secondary schools are on track for 2020 completion. These fall under the ministry's Guyana Secondary Education Improvement Project, aimed at improving the quality of educational infrastructure for all learners. The Ministry of Education in October last signed 2 contracts for the construction of the 2 secondary schools. The contracts, which were awarded to R. Basu Construction for the construction of the Westminster Secondary School and BK International for the construction of the Good Hope Secondary School. The Westminster Secondary School on the west bank of Demerara is being constructed at a cost of $1 billion and will be a flagship educational institution in the Essequibo Islands West Demerara region. Upon completion, Westminster Secondary will accommodate 1,000 students, while the other school, Good Hope Secondary on the east coast of Demerara, constructed at a cost of $857 million, will accommodate 800 students. The schools will be furnished with multi-purpose halls, home economics buildings, science and computer laboratories, audiovisual rooms, and industrial technology rooms, among other inclusive classrooms and extracurricular spaces, in keeping with the ministry's goal to create modern and inclusive learning facilities. During visits to the construction sites for the 2 educational facilities, Dr. Henry reiterated her ministry's commitment to the nation's education.
Well, these are 2 important catchment areas, as we put new housing schemes and housing areas, then you have to provide the necessary facilities to ensure that the resident needs is taken care of.
She underscored the need for the provision of educational facilities to be erected to serve all Guyanese, citing the government's dedication to providing adequate quality spaces to enable students to achieve greater learning outcomes.
Education is an important public service, and so this is intended to serve the population here. From the technical perspective, certainly I'm advised that the quality of the work is at the required standard. In terms of the implementation pace, however, I would wish to see them, speed things up a little more. And so that has been my primary concern.
In 2018 alone, thousands of students have benefited from improved learning facilities, ranging from Cato Secondary School in Region 8 to Parikwaranao Nursery in the South Rupununi to several other schools in Regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Learners have been granted increased access to equitable and quality education. The Ministry of Education will continue to improve education delivery through new and improved school infrastructure, curriculum development, special education needs, inclusive classrooms and schools, smart classrooms, and other educational interventions. You have been watching InfoHub Extended. Do join us again next time.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.